We have all been there. Maybe you are 2, maybe 3 hours into the ride. The weather is brilliant, the twisties up ahead are amazing, but inside of your gear, you are absolutely miserable. Your lower back is screaming, your wrists are completely numb, your fingers are cramping up, and your neck feels like it's trying to hold up an 80-pound bowling ball. By the time you finally pull into a petrol station, you're too wiped out. You're too sore and too exhausted to enjoy that route you actually took. You're just staring at the clock, dreading the ride back home. Helmet fatigue is real. Saddle soreness is also very real. But what if I told you that riding your motorcycle doesn't have to feel like an intense, grueling, full-body workout? What if I told you that you could ride for 8, 10, even 12 hours, hit your destination, and finishing the day feeling completely energized, loose, and just ready for more? So today we're breaking down the definitive, comprehensive guide to never getting tired on your motorcycle again. We're covering the ergonomic adjustments you need to make right now, the hidden muscle groups you should be using to control the machine, the environmental factors silently draining your battery, and the cheap upgrades that will completely overhaul your riding stamina. Let's hit that intro. Now first up, let's talk about the environment of everything. How you are actually sitting on one of these machines. Most riders make the mistake of supporting the entire weight of their body on their wrists, their hands, and the handlebars. When you ride like this, however, every single bump, every single pothole, and every vibration from the road travels straight up your arms, locks out your elbows, and rams straight into your shoulders and your spine. If you have death grips on your handlebars, your forearms are going to pump out in less than 30 minutes, and your control of the bike absolutely plummets. Here's the golden rule of motorcycle endurance that you really need to internalize. Your handlebars are exclusively for steering inputs and delicate controls, not for holding up your entire body weight. Next time you're out on the road cruising, try the flap test. See if you can comfortably flap your elbows up and down like a chicken while maintaining your throttle position. If your arms are locked straight, or you feel like you're going to fall off the bike, if you let go of your grip, you are carrying way too much tension. You need to shift that entire physical workout down to the lower half of your body. To do this, you have to lock in with your legs. Grip the tank firmly with your thighs and your knees, and actively engage your core muscles. Your abdominal muscles and your lower body should be doing 100% of the heavy lifting to anchor you to the chassis. This leaves your upper body completely loose, fluid, and relaxed, allowing you to react to the road instantly. If your tank is too sleek or slippy to grip comfortably without sliding forward and backward, spend a little cash on some rubber tank grips. It is the single highest ROI comfort modification you can buy for any motorcycle, whether you ride a sports bike, a naked bike, or an adventure bike. Now I want to talk about the single highest killer of motorcycle stamina, and that is wind noise. You might not consciously notice this when you're riding because your adrenaline is pumping, but fighting a 60 to 70 mile per hour full-on headwind for hours on end causes massive, continuous micro strain on your neck, on your shoulders, and on your upper back. Your muscles are constantly making micro adjustments just to keep your head from being ripped backwards. And at the exact same time, your brain is overworking to process that roaring wind noise inside of your helmet. This constant acoustic assault induces deep neurological fatigue. It wears you down mentally, and it slows your reaction time down significantly, long before your body starts to give out. Now to fix this, you need a two-pronged approach: earplugs and proper wind management. You need to wear high quality earplugs on every single highway or motorway ride, period. There is a common myth here with earplugs that they are dangerous because they block out the sound of traffic, of sirens, or your engine, and that is completely false. High quality motorcycle earplugs simply just filter out that exhausting, high frequency white noise off the wind blast while still letting you hear your music, the ambient traffic, and sirens. And when you cut out that wind noise, you'll be so amazed at how much fresher your brain feels after a 3-hour stint on the motorcycle. As for wind management, if you ride a naked bike, consider putting on a small styled fly screen for their longer rides to take that brutal wind off of your chest. Now, if you already have a bike with a windscreen, look into adding a small adjustable spoiler extension to the top of it, so it'll sit on the top of your windscreen. You can adjust it, it'll go higher or lower. They cost very little, but they will allow you to fine-tune the aerodynamics, pushing the turbulent air completely over you, or your helmet rather, instead of fully on your face or fully on your chest. Beyond your setup, you really need to manage your body when it's on the move. You don't need to pull over or park up and do a full embarrassing yoga session at a petrol station just to stay fresh and loose. You just need to implement quick micro stretches while you are actively riding. When you hit a long, safe stretch of road, or even if you stopped at traffic lights, make it a habit to do these 3 specific movements to reset your nervous system. Firstly, do the shoulder shrug. Drop your arms as much as you possibly can, then shrug your shoulders straight up as far as they can go towards your ears. Hold them tight for 3 seconds, then forcefully let them down. This immediately releases the static tension building up in your trap muscles. Second, do the leg shake. Do one at a time. When it is safe to do so, let your leg hang straight down towards the road for a few seconds. This opens up your tight hip flexors and gets the blood flowing back into your knee after they have been bent at an acute angle just from your feet being on the pegs. Now thirdly, do the horizon look. When you are on a clear, straight stretch of road, deliberately scan your eyes as far left, and right as far as they can go. This simple movement breaks that rigid, static neck freeze that happens when you're staring straight ahead at the white lines for far too long. Finally, we have to talk about how you are fueling the rider, because your body is the most critical component of the motorcycle. When we start to feel that mid-afternoon wall kind of hitting us around the 2 to 3 p.m. mark, when the yawns start, our survival instinct, I think, is to pull into the closest petrol station, grab a massive sugary energy drink, a coffee, a few candy bars, or a bag of crisps. But don't do it. Don't do that. That massive spike in your blood sugar levels gives you a temporary 15-minute buzz, but the subsequent insulin spike and the sugar crash 45 minutes later will make your eyelids feel like lead weights, and your concentration on the road and on your riding will absolutely plummet, which is, of course, without saying, incredibly dangerous for anyone on 2 wheels. Dehydration is another massive stamina thief that most riders completely ignore because they couldn't be bothered with pulling over to drink. Dehydration saps your reaction time on the road. It slows down your decision making on corners, and obviously it makes your muscles cramp up. If you are waiting until the very last second, until you are desperately thirsty to drink water, you are already significantly dehydrated. Just make a conscious decision to continuously sip away at water throughout the day. Using a hydration backpack, actually, with a flexible hose thingy on it, you know what I'm talking about, and then put it inside of your helmet, is an absolute game changer for long distance rides, because it allows you to stay hydrated without the need of pulling over, searching for that bottle in your bag. It's just much simpler. Now, if you do need a genuine energy boost to get you through the rest of your route to your destination, bypass the junk food aisle entirely. Go for a high protein, slow energy releasing snack like nuts or beef jerky or even fruit. They will keep your blood sugar entirely balanced, and your mental focus will stay razor sharp until that final kickstand for the day goes down. At the end of the day, motorcycle touring and long distance riding isn't a test of how tough you are, or how much pain you can tolerate, or even how much suffering you can go through. It's about being smart, managing your own personal energy, and setting up your environment to work with you instead of against you. By gripping the bike with your lower body, protecting your hearing from the wind blast, executing micro stretches at red lights or on very straight roads where it's safe to do so, and keeping your body properly fueled with clean energy, you can easily double your daily mileage without that physical hangover the next morning. So let me know, what is the longest ride you have managed to pull off in a single day? And what specific part of your body hurt the most when you finally get off the bike? Let me know in the comments below, and we can troubleshoot the ergonomics together in a thread. Drop a like if these tips have helped you at all, and hit that subscribe button if you are looking for more videos like this. And as always guys, ride safe out there, and I will see you in the next video.